Dear Republican Representative Herman Cain, you, sir, are a shameful coon.
Cain says that blacks are over that first black African American president thing.
First of all, I can name one black person that's not over the whole black president thing.
That didn't go over very well with a lot of people in this country, Cain said in an appearance on Fox News on Monday. I think that that's behind them.
Two.
Do I have a third? There you go. So here's 4 black people that are not over the whole black president thing.
And Valerie.
And a Dominican.
Cain's argument, one of his main things is hip-hop has been convincing black people to vote Democrat.
That hip-hop has brainwashed black people to vote against Republicans.
Well, how's it brainwashed? Where's the brainwash from?
There's plenty of rock music that pushes you to vote Democrat. There's country music that pushes you to vote Democrat. If that's how we're looking at it, it's just, had it been a purely Democratic run up until now, there's no doubt in my mind there would have been a push for voting for Republicans.
And I would invite Herman Cain, a black man from Florida, to perhaps talk to another black person, or maybe read a book about a black person, or just Google black person, and he might learn that historically we didn't vote Republican.
We ain't voted Republican since Abraham Lincoln.
Thinking that hip-hop is brainwashing the youth into voting Democrat instead of Republican. How does that explain all the black people who don't listen to hip-hop who still vote Democrat?
They allowed us to vote because they needed to, like, you know, spike up the polls, basically. And then once we actually started realizing that we were screwing ourselves, we switched over to Democratic and really haven't looked back. But that was long before Sugar Hill Gang and like Lovebug Starsky and DJ Hollywood. That was long before. I could see if we were voting Republican and all of a sudden Sugar Hill Gang drops, Rappers Delight drops, Run DMC drops, and so on, and now we don't, you know, mess with the Republican Party. No. We actually had a disconnect long before hip-hop got here.
The disrespect that they've shown the office of the president during his term has been like ridiculous.
What it was is like his promise was so rich and refreshing that a lot of folks believed that it was going to automatically happen within that 4-year span, and now they're realizing it's taking a little bit longer.
I will say this about my people, lovingly. Sometimes we get very caught up in momentum and we don't necessarily listen to everything that is being said. All we heard was hope. We didn't hear it's gonna take hard work and it's gonna take 8 years.
He told us, yo, this ain't gonna be easy. Everybody has to get involved. Knowing that Bush had 8 years to fuck things up.
Clinton had the last 4 years to fuck it up, and then Bush had 8.
I think he's trying. I see a lot of effort. I see a lot of, but it's uphill. Like people are making it think. People seem to think that he can snap his finger.
No one can imagine like the fucking problems like that nigga's dealing with. Like not even the current day problems, just like cleaning up Bush's mess and Clinton's mess. Like
before he even get to what's happening.
You can't fathom the shit that this nigga's really dealing with.
You can't drive in the wrong direction for 12 years, then decide one day you're gonna turn around and get back to where you started from before. Shit just doesn't happen. It goes against everything that's ever made sense in any convention that you subscribe to.
Hip hop had such a big say with the last election that now they're taking the time to like say like, oh, hip hop's making you vote Democrat.
If you want us to change our
for them
minds,
to even
like,
mention it and
attacking us isn't gonna help.
Yeah, alienating doesn't really work that well.
Coming at us and pointing your finger, talking about, oh, you guys only. Okay, it's not my fault. It's not the hip hop generation's fault. It's not hip hop's fault that Republicans have alienated the music and you know, turned us into criminals or you know, made us look a certain way. We didn't do that. Y'all did that. How many rap albums do you own? How many rap albums have you listened to?
That's the Republican MO. That's why we don't, because we don't identify at all. They don't make any effort to identify with us. They just point their fingers at us. And I think, strangely enough, that's kind of the opposite of what hip-hop does, ironically. The Republican Party doesn't make a regular effort to truly understand who we are, to truly get to know us, and to know why we choose the way we choose, and the things that matter to us. So it's that same disconnect that got you thinking that hip-hop is the reason. That is actually the reason.
It's just the standards of the Republican Party and the morals and, you know, what they believe in doesn't equate to what the African American community, you know, believes in. And I'm not saying everything, but to solely place it on hip hop.
it's just exciting to see that people now can acknowledge and realize how much the hip hop community has an impact in every aspect of the world, from politics, the economy, from branding, parenting.
It's not urging you to vote Democrat. It's just urging you of the way life is, of the way the economy is, of just the state of affairs. You know, that's what music has been, it's what music will continue to be. So long as there are issues generated largely by Republican ideals, there will be music that's largely anti-Republican.
The biggest complaint about Obama is that when he got into office, he was very left, and because he's had to work with Congress, he's moved progressively right, so now he's sitting in the middle. I worry that if you put a Republican, even if he is somewhat centrist, if you put him in the White House, because he's got to work with his party, he is going to move back right. I'd rather have somebody start way left and move to the center than have somebody start in the center and move way right. And then all of a sudden I can't get an abortion and can't, like, not that I'm like out getting abortions, but like you said,
like sleep on Thursday from what I heard.
The birth control,
and
birth control is a motherfucker.
Nah, yeah, I mean, like, you got the titties for it, so you may not reconsider.
Don't get it. Who knows what might happen? The titties might get bigger.
I wouldn't get an abortion this late in the game.
Yeah,
I feel like you should have the baby before Christmas.
And it's like,
I'm not pregnant. I just want to
jump off babies. Jump off babies. Jump off babies.
J.O.B.
J.O.B.
Whoop.
Jobs. Y'all are having jobs. Females, this is the new thing.
Y'all could run for president. What we doing? Creating jobs.
Aspire to have a job. Not a nigga with a job, but a job.
So you don't need a BMW.
Exactly.
You don't need a black man working. You need a J.O.B.
Jump off baby.
I'm done.
I'm cool.
Drops the mic.
Little Hova got a job.